Here are today's gladiators. In the lowest category, we have the Vector Optics. 4-16 by 44. Has a ton of features on it, but can it hold up in the image quality and the tracking and the durability and everything else? Fighting as a welterweight is the Athlon 4-20 by 50. Now this scope has a lot of promise and is making a lot of buzz. In fact, it's impressed me so much that we started carrying these things. But when we put it side by side with a heavyweight contender, can it really hang out in the ring? And oh, the object of many men's desire, this is the Vortex LHT. This is going on so many hunting scopes, I swear that deer and elk everywhere are making support groups about how to survive them. It's lightweight, it's got push button illumination and everything else you'd want. Can the heavyweight defeat the challengers? Hey, two quick announcements before we start this video. Number one, go to backfire.tv/shootwithjim. You can sign up to come shoot these challenges that you've seen us do, like the 1 MOA challenge, the milk jug challenge, all that kind of stuff. We have some new really cool ones coming up. So go to backfire.tv/shootwithjim. It's free to come shoot and you get to be on the internets. I want to be practical. Like, I don't want to like sit there and analyze all the minutia of this thing. I want to see how it would really impact your use of the scope. So let's say you got some acreage, you know, let's say you're in the Midwest or whatever, got your back 40 and you want to dispatch some groundhogs off the back deck safely. What we want to test is that when I move the turret to whatever 3 mils, I want to make sure that it's actually moving precisely 3 mils, that reticle. If there's some error there and you dialed to 3, but it's actually moving at 3.1, then you know you're going to miss your target or whatever else. So let's take this now to the office. We have a lab grade collimator to be testing this. So what a collimator is it's just a very precise reticle that is in a tube. You see kind of a green light, and then you take the scope's reticle and you match them up, and then we're going to dial up 8 mils and over 8 mils, and then we have an MOA one as well. And we want to make sure that it's moving exactly that amount each time. So here is the first test. This one is with the Athlon. You'll see I'm going up 8 mils, and you'll see every 5 clicks, it's perfect. It's every 5 clicks, boom, it hits the line. 5 more clicks, boom, it hits the line. There was one scope, however, that observed some tracking error, and that was the Vector Optics 4-16. It's tiny. It's, let's call it 1/10 of a mil at 4 mils. You're going to be off. That's a really small error, really, for what it's doing. And so looking at the scoreboard for test number 1, the cheapest scope, yeah, I would call it, you know, 70-80% of the way there, but it's not all the way. Now the difference between the mid price and the big boy is nothing. They both tracked perfectly. Couldn't observe any difference in the price for this test. But let's hit the next one. Next test is the image quality. So you'll see we have set up here a scope, and we have 3 of us. Cameraman Garrett. We've enlisted the help of Mrs. Backfire. Emily's back on the channel. She's been busy with the kids all summer long, but now I can start pulling her into some videos. What we're going to do is we're each looking through these scopes at a deer head over there. 2 scenarios I can see where just having a nicer image in the scope can help you to make more shots is one. Sometimes if you're looking at a deer and there's like brush behind it, it can be kind of hard to see the tines if you have a cheaper scope that just doesn't have as nice of an image. And so that's one. The other is if you're trying to see bullet splash, just a little movement of the dirt or something to see where you missed if you're to correct at long range.
That's what I need.
Bullet splash.
Yes.
So here are all our scopes. You're going to have to kind of rely on our description of the image quality here. We tried recording through the scopes with the trigger cam, and it's an image of an image, and it looks a lot worse in here than it does in real life. Then we tried like getting a cell phone and taking a picture through here so we can give you a good, you know, visual of what it actually looks like. And the iPhone's like too smart. So on one of the scopes that kind of looks really foggy all the time, it looks more clear here because it's adding contrast there. So we're gonna have to just go with that, but we'll show some visuals to kind of give it, but they're approximations. Your job is to look at the image quality and guess which is the expensive scope and which is the cheap scope. We're gonna just show you the 3 of the more hunting focused scopes.
Okay.
See if you can get it.
All right. Okay, so yes, I got the deer, and now I tell you how clear it is.
So yeah, just take a look good, take a mental image, remember what this one is, and then I'm gonna put up the next scope. And so you gotta tell me which you think is cheap, mid, and expensive.
All right, those are some nice, what did you call it? Tines?
Yeah. Tines, that's what they call it. Okay, what do you think of this one? Is this better or worse?
This one is definitely more foggy.
Yeah.
Like, I would not want that one.
Okay, now we're gonna look at one more.
Okay. Ooh. This one is nice. Is this the most expensive one? Just look at those tines. I like this one. Yeah, this is good.
Okay, so let's compare these two now. Kind of tough they aren't pointed at the exact same thing.
Okay, got it. Say the top one still. Well, I don't know why I said still, but I like the top one.
What do you like better about it?
It seems to be more clear in my eyes.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
No, that's actually really interesting. So we all agreed that the $250 optic, it just looks grayed out, just like there's a fog on it. And that's exactly what you said. Okay, then between these two, so you picked the top scope as the best looking image. Garrett and I also picked the top scope as the best image. Did you agree on that?
Oh yeah. I like the Athlon more. I think it's sharper. I think there's less fraying around the edges. I just think overall the image quality, the Athlon's better.
The difference in image quality between these two is like...
It's minimal.
I mean, it's like, I had to look through them several times before I could judge.
Yeah. Okay, now we want to be able to test the warranty on these things, but first we have to do some damage. Like Pokemon. You know how the boys used to say, "Oh, this one did 259 damage."
Well, 259 damage, then we're going up to the danger tower. All right, so we always test water intrusion on these scopes. We're going crazy on it. You know, your scope isn't really going to go in a pool, but if it can survive this, it can survive anything. So it's 259 damage. Oh, I hate doing this. It makes me sad. We'll throw all the 3 hunting scopes in there and compare them. All right, let's take a look through these. See how they fared.
Okay.
One?
I'm just looking for any kind of bubble.
It'll be pretty obvious. Yep, the Athlon did great.
Ah! Oh, I just had to back up. Actually, it is kind of foggy though. Sorry.
Vortex is great. How do we look there?
I think it's damaged.
Oh, really? Ooh, it could be.
You can't take
It's like
that off.
puddled in there.
Yeah, right here. Can you see in the camera at all? I don't know. There's just a little bit of water at the bottom here on the inside.
I've never seen that much water get in a scope. We've seen a little fogginess, but I can hear it.
Oh.
Listen, you can hear it.
Put it up to your mic, see if you can hear it through the mic.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
All right, so the water intrusion test, we see the other scope survived, the cheapest scope in there did not survive it.
I'm sad about that.
Now we're gonna call each of these companies. Now we're not going to get a warranty repair on this because we've intentionally done this, and so we're not gonna like try to intentionally take advantage, but we're gonna call each of the companies.
And see how long it takes them to respond, you know, give us the 411 of what a warranty is going to take on the customer's part.
Now weight certainly matters on the hunting scopes, but there is something to mention. I mean, this one is going to be quite a bit lighter than anything. That is 1 pound, 4 ounces.
Wait, let me announce. 1 pound, 4 ounces.
Compared to the Vortex.
I'm just teasing.
Oh, it's 1 pound, 5 ounces, which is pretty crazy. I mean, this is the, you're killing me. Anyway, this one has way more features, but they weigh the same, which is pretty cool. And the Athlon is 1 pound, 10 ounces. So the Athlon is 5 ounces heavier. That definitely gives an advantage to the Vortex for weight because it has all the features, but it's 5 ounces lighter. It's pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to crank through some features.
And I want you to be quick and precise.
Okay. Speaking of precise, so you've got to pick a scope to put on your Competition 22 rifle.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about those. And then these are more of the hunting ones.
Yeah.
So the first feature is a locking turret. On a hunting scope, for me, that's essential. Having it so it locks down, and then you pull it to turn. We've got to have something like that.
Yep.
All of these scopes have that feature, so everybody gets 100%.
Cool.
Next, illumination. So being able to turn on the reticle, you can get the little red glow in there if it's late at night or something like that. But all of them have it, but the one that I really want to give props to here is the Vortex LHT. I love that this has push button illumination rather than these where, you know, just the typical one where you dial to what brightness level you are. I like that because then it automatically turns off. These dial ones generally don't, and I always forget and it's dead.
I wouldn't even really like this button. I need a lot of time to get on my target. And so if it's gonna turn off, ooh, I just hate that feature. Because it just, because
You said that was such a
on my
spite.
phone, it like cuts me off way too fast and then I have to start all over.
The third feature is a zero stop. And so you can set it so that when you get down to 0, it won't let you go down further than that. That's advantageous because what if you go up, you know, a whole revolution and then you can't remember which spin of the dial we're on. And so the Vortex has it, the Athlon has it. The Vector Optics does not have a zero stop on this. Now in this particular case, it's not a real big deal because it only has, you know, about a rev and a half of travel anyway. And so you're kind of unlikely to get off, but it doesn't have a zero stop on that one. Also a rev indicator. So this is really only useful if you're going to be shooting your rifle very long range. It's nice to have a way like this to know which spin of the dial we are on. And the Athlon in this case has it. The Vortex does not, but it does tell you the MOA in this case for the second revolution, and it has a zero stop, and so it's not that big of a deal because you're able to go back to 0 and count the revolution. Next is first focal plane. All of these optics are first focal plane. I personally like first focal plane, and I think that's where most people are going.
That's the one that gets bigger, right? With your reticle gets bigger as you zoom in, and so all of the measurements will be accurate.
Ka-choo, yes, that's right. Yeah, so first focal plane, all of these have it, even the $250 scope. A lot of the scopes in the lower price points are going to be second focal plane. There is a little bit of an increased cost to make them first focal plane, so pretty cool to see that here.
And if everybody's doing it, you might as well go for first. First focal plane. Okay, now we're going to test the warranty. So I got Vortex on the phone.
Thank you for calling Vortex Optics.
Good afternoon, this is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I'm Emily. I have a Vortex scope here, and I have some water on the inside of it. I just wondered what kind of information I would need to try using the warranty.
So I would just get your information. If you have access to a printer, I can email you the forms. If not, I can put them in the mail. Whatever works best for you.
Okay.
And then with shipping and repair, it's taken a couple of weeks.
Awesome. That sounds pretty simple. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. And Emily, what's your last name?
Well, if it's okay, I'll call you back with that information when I can.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Go grab it for you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Athlon Optics, how can I help you?
Hi. I have a new Athlon scope here, and I was just preparing. I wondered if I got water on the inside of it, if I could use the warranty. What kind of information would you need from me in order to use that warranty?
So there's going to be a lifetime warranty section on our website. There's like 3 boxes, and that'll be the one on the left-hand side. If you click into that, there's a product service form in there, and pretty much it's just going to take down your address, contact info, and description of kind of what happened, and then you would just put that in the box with the scope and then send that in to us, and then we would get it taken care of for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Backfire Office, good morning.
Hi. I was wondering about a scope here that has water on the inside of it. Is there a way I could go about using the warranty? What information would you need?
So I know, because sometimes they have 5-year warranty or 1 year or a lifetime. Lifetime, you don't have to worry.
Okay.
So I just need to know what scope that is and when you bought it, okay?
Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Pam.
You're welcome, Ellen Millie. Bye.
Bye-bye.
As you were talking to him, I kind of looked him up. Everybody knows Vortex has a killer warranty. It doesn't matter if you're the original purchaser. You don't have to have a receipt. If you got a Vortex scope and something happened to it, send it in and they take care of it. Awesome. Athlon totally matches it in every way. They're easy to deal with. They'll give you a prepaid label. Doesn't matter if you're the original purchaser. If you have an Athlon scope, they're going to fix it. Totally matches. The Vector Optics, I looked up the detail while you were talking. According to their website, it's a 5-year limited warranty to the original purchaser. So it sounded like she was super nice, easy to deal with, but you're not dealing with the same kind of warranty as the more expensive scopes. All right, the riveting conclusion. First, the cheap scope category. We saw water intrusion, a tiny bit of tracking error, and the image quality was just very grayed out compared to the others. Having said that, 95% of hunters are probably going to do just fine in an inexpensive scope. It's amazing the feature set that they're bringing down to this inexpensive category. And for most hunting situations, you're going to get your deer just fine. Moving to the mid-price, I was blown away with this scope. It has all the feature set. The image quality, we maybe found it to be even barely better than the expensive scope. And so there was massive diminishing returns that we saw in this between a mid-price scope and an expensive scope. So this guy, the Vortex, it's worth it. I'm not saying it isn't. I love this scope. It's a fantastic scope. Man, it's tough to beat to put this thing on a hunting rifle. And same thing in the competition scopes. When you go up to those really expensive scopes, you get that tiny bit of sharpness, everything that is just nice refinement, but huge diminishing returns. And so for me, I am pretty happy with this guy. I think you're going to be seeing this on many, many of my scopes to come, my rifles to come. Thanks everybody for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.